Hey guys and girls, welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to teach you how to be an active real estate investor. All right, in this video, I'm going to talk about why it's so important about being aggressive, being an active real estate investor, and then stick around to the very end. And I'm going to show you how to get a continuous amount of deals flowing through your system every single day. All right, what in the world does active real estate investor even mean? You know, you hear active real estate investor, passive real estate investor. Well, I'm going to give you my two most easiest examples. Active real estate investor is someone that's like on the offense. You know, you see these motorcycle riders like flying around cars and driving through and cutting in and out of traffic. That is completely being offensive in their driving, but it's so they constantly stay in tune with what's going on. You know, when I was learning how to ride a motorcycle, my grandfather was teaching me, he's like, you always want to be in control. You want to be the one going through. You don't want to be in the defense because that's when it's too late. Same thing with being an active real estate investor. You want to be in offensive mode. That's sending out letters, making the phone calls, doing the marketing, doing the advertising. Now let's go to the reverse opposite end of the spectrum, and that's a passive real estate investor. A passive real estate investor, when I hear that, I hear someone that just invests their funds, they have no say-so, and they're just kind of collecting a return on investment. A passive real estate investor could even be like a bank. You know, they lend you the money to buy it and you pay them back slowly. Or an investor in apartment complex syndication where, you know, there might be 4 or 5 actual investors, like 4 or 5 different investors where one person just puts their funds in, you never hear from them, and then you pay that person back a return on their investment. And they're an owner of that apartment complex. So that is what my definition is of a passive real estate investor. So we're not here to talk about passive. We're talking about active, being offensive, and getting the marketing out every single day so you're constantly brought in a continuous amount of leads and deal flow. All right, to be an active real estate investor, marketing is everything. What do I mean by that? I mean, you got to pick a marketing channel or sometimes multiple marketing channels and dominate it. You might think, well, I'm just getting started, so I don't have multiple marketing channels. Well, pick one, and one of my absolute best favorites is mail. Mail works because it's one thing that you can dominate very easily. And what do I mean by dominate? I mean, you're sending so many letters out that it makes you nervous. Like, oh my goodness, what if no one calls? What if no one sells me their house or their land? I want you to keep moving forward because that's part of getting over. On the other side of discomfort is usually where the success happens. So you got to dominate this marketing channel and you got to automate it. You know, how do you automate it? That means you have the mail going out whether you get out of bed or not. You can automate it by having the mail house take care of it for you. That's my preferred method. But you can also automate it by hiring someone that will get this mail out every single month for you. So by hiring that person, that's technically called delegating. So you can automate first and then delegate. I prefer to automate things as much as possible before I delegate it because if a machine can do it, if it can happen automatically, I don't have to pay someone by actually delegating it. But let me give you how I automate through a mail house. If you go to landofferletter.com, these are the guys I use to have my mail going out. Every single week, the letter's going out. And by the time the end of the month happens, we've sent a lot of mail. So it's almost like a pump. You're constantly priming that pump, especially when you're first getting started. You got to get that pump primed. So you're like pumping like crazy, trying to get the air out of that pump. But once the water starts to flow, you can slow down that pump to where you can barely see you're even pumping it. And that's that water flow, that's the consistent deals coming in every single day. All right, you might be thinking, oh my goodness, he's talking about dominating a marketing channel and automating it and then delegating it. So I got to hire people, I got to mail stuff. Hey, in the beginning, I didn't start there. In the beginning, I was literally sending my own offer letters, my own postcards, my own letters. Me and my wife would sit up to like midnight sometimes writing these. Guys, once you do that first deal, you're going to be able to reinvest back into your system, have more money for mailing. You know, don't put all of it back in it. Keep, tithe some, give some, put some aside to pay your taxes, and then also put some aside to pay for profit. So 10% tithe, 10% taxes, 10% profit. That leaves you 70% left. So let's just say you make $10,000. You tithe 1,000, you put 1,000 towards your taxes, and you put 1,000 towards your profit. There's a great book called Profit First. If you're always taking your profit out of the deal, you're always profitable. That leaves you $7,000 left to put back into your systems, to put back into your automation, to put back into your mail, to continuously send out more letters. All right, I get asked all the time, I have no idea where to begin, Brent. Where do I begin? You already know enough. I've already given you action steps in this video. Where you begin is stop gathering information, stop gathering knowledge, and start taking action steps every single day. Every single day is one step further to your goal, one step further. But I'm gonna give you some more marketing channels on how to dominate and how to be an active real estate investor. But before I do, hit that subscribe button. I've got videos coming out 5 days a week showing you the steps to take to be an active real estate investor. All right, let's get into it. So I talked to you already about letters and postcard. I sum that up in the mail. That's letters and that's postcard. Well, what next? What else could you have that's very inexpensive to be in business, to be an active real estate investor? And that is a website. Your website showcases exactly what you do. You can talk about your business, what you do. You buy houses, you buy land. Here's my team. You might be saying, well, I don't have a team. Well, do you have a realtor? Do you have a title company? Do you have an attorney? Put their information on it. I don't care if you've got an acquisition manager or it's just you. Put your wife on there. Talk about your family. Talk about why you're buying houses, why you're selling, what you're currently doing now. People love that. And I'll tell you what's even better is putting a video on your website. People eat that up. I mean, you're on YouTube right now. People don't like to read anymore. They like to watch videos. They like to see pictures. That's why Facebook and Instagram are doing so well. And that leads me right into the next point, and that's Facebook. Facebook is an amazing place to advertise and market and be an active real estate investor. You want to have a business Facebook page, but here's what's even cooler about Facebook. Facebook allows you the ability to retarget people. What does retarget mean? If they go to your website, now they are going to have a pixel on their IP address and they will consistently see your videos and your advertisement, your ads on Facebook for like pennies. And you will stay in front of these people, front of site, and eventually you'll build know, like, and trust with them. They'll get to know you. They'll feel like they know you. They'll start to like you and eventually trust you to do business with you. I've given you a lot of information today. Now it's time to pull the trigger and take action. But you might still be asking, where do I start? Or how in the world? There's so much to this. If you need someone that will actually hold your hand and walk you through the steps, the action steps to take, it's very key. I keep mentioning action, 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 but you might not know exactly the action steps to take. I'd be honored to coach you in this journey. I coach people how to buy and sell land at massive discounts, hence the land shirt, and build a passive income, build a business that serves them, their families, and eventually others. If you're interested in that, head over to thelandsharks.com, schedule a call with my team. We'll see if we're a great fit, and I'd be honored to coach you on that journey.